Attorney General Wrigley, thank you so much for joining me today.
Honored.
What inspired you to become an Attorney General?
The idea that you can impact your community around the state of North Dakota, and that you can have impact outside of your community, in your region, and even in the country by being a member of organizations such as this, where people band together and make sure that the people's laws, as passed by our respective legislatures, that they get enforced, and that the public can count on us to treat everybody the same. Equal justice, civil order, impactful consumer legislation that gets through, make sure that we've got a fair and even playing field for our businesses in our state. Those that are passionate about that. I've worked in similar roles across my career. I was a prosecutor in the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office after law school. I went to law school here. I'm a fourth generation North Dakota. I worked in law enforcement as an assistant district attorney. And then I've been privileged to twice serve my state as the presidentially appointed United States Attorney, President George W. Bush, and then also under President Trump. I believe in rule of law and ordered communities, so that you have an environment where people can live and get educated, and start businesses, and have peaceful communities and meaningful lives.
How would you define the rule of law so that teenagers can understand?
It's the idea. It's the centrally important idea that people are treated equally under the laws that we agree are going to benefit us. Whether it's speeding violations, or public corruption, or narcotics trafficking, or a host of different things that we have elected representatives that decide what the standards are going to be, and the rule of law is that we get treated the same, whether you're rich or new to that state, or fourth generation, or everyone's got an even playing field. That's what makes America great. You don't have to have special status to be protected by our laws. You don't have to have a long history of a family business that you inherit and you get treated special because that's a big deal in your community. Everybody gets treated the same and have an opportunity to pursue the American dream and just get good ideas, be law-abiding. Those sound like quaint ideas, but they're really things that we can take for granted sometimes. Say, gosh, we have peace in our communities. I can go to school and get an education, whether I have a lot of money or not much money, and I can do that in a community that's safe. I don't have to have private protection. I've got a police force that protects our community and our families and our people. And like I say, when it's done the exact right way, we can take it for granted. We don't even think about it. But there have got to be people that work to ensure rule of law and ensure that it's always going to be applied to everybody.
And lastly, what are some challenging cases or situations you faced, and how did you navigate those challenges?
Well, I've been faced with a lot of challenging situations over the years, and when I stepped down as U.S. Attorney both times, I remember thinking 85% of the work we did, people didn't really see it. It was just work we were doing, whether it was on an investigation or getting a search warrant to go find out a drug den in our community that was moving that poison out into the streets. Some of the biggest challenges come if you've got conflicts between different law enforcement entities. I had a case one time where when I was U.S. Attorney, North Dakota wanted to pursue the case, but so did Minnesota, and the crime had crossed over the borders, and so we had to have a dispute settled by the Justice Department about who would have that case. The advice I'd have for people is to always be transparent, just be open about what it is you're seeking and why, and fight fair. It makes sense. Like just play by the rules. Engage your, I don't want to use the word opponent, engage the other side of what you're doing, and let the chips fall where they may. Sometimes it's a jury making a decision. Sometimes it's your supervisor that's making the decision. But I get through the most challenging things in my work by being transparent and open about what are the facts of the circumstances, and figure out what are the laws that apply or the regulations that apply, and then do our very, very best to apply those regulations and laws in an even-handed way. I also help. I know that it helps a lot if I get along with input from other people. I like to have a diverse group of people, diverse in age, diverse in background, experience, what have you, so that you get different perspectives, and you get that input, and then you decide something about what you're doing and why, and let people know what were the decisional factors, why did you decide what you did, and move forward, and then people who didn't agree with you necessarily, if they see that you have an open process and that you took in information, did the best you could, and are honest about why you're making that decision going forward, even people who don't agree with the exact direction you selected, they can then buy in and realize that you've got integrity, you're approaching the
Thank you so much for
that help at all.